Well, as you can see, I'm back. I wanted you all to see my face, see that I'm okay and everything else. By now, you probably have heard. A few months ago, I suffered a mild stroke. It affected my entire right side of my body, my arm, my legs. Some parts of my speech is still not normal, but thanks to a lot of therapy and a lot of faith, I'm getting back to normal. I'm back to walking around with and without a cane. I'm talking semi-normally. I've been going out more, mainly for therapy appointments, going shopping, things like that. Everything I can to work myself way to being back to normal. There are a lot of people I need to thank. First of all, most importantly, for God, those who aren't believers, those who are believers. God who is ahead of my life. For him, I would not be here. This stroke, not to get too personal about it, unless you ask me, when I had that stroke, it felt like when I got into that ambulance, got into the hospital, I thought my life was really, truly over. I wouldn't move, I wouldn't do the things I usually did. And thankfully, I'm back to normal now. Well, on the way to being normal. At some point, I'll be back in my car, riding around my city. Hopefully, in the next few months, I'll be back on the job, get my life back to normal. And all of it, hopefully, when Ohio State starts playing football, before the football season starts. I need to thank my family, my dad, my stepmom, my mom, my stepfather, my brother and his family, my grandmother who's living in another state, all of my family who pretty much put their lives on hold just for me. And that's no small boast. They did put their lives on hold for me, checking up on me, if it's a visit at the house or if it's just a simple phone call. They all did, and I'm so thankful for that. Not that I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying you never know who really truly loves you until you've been on the precipice of what I've been through or what others have been through. I've heard stories about people who had strokes and other medical problems, heart attacks, anything, and they have no one in their lives. I'm so immensely grateful to have all these people in my life. Everyone. Whether it's actually my mother came to visit me or she calls me on the phone, they pretty much made me the center of their lives after what happened. And I'm truly immensely grateful for it. For my stepmom who drives me to therapy, to every therapy appointment, to every doctor's appointment over the last few months. She could be doing something else with her time, with her life. I'm so grateful that she is. My father, who still goes to work, but makes me number one in his life. To my mother, who calls me and visits me, and prays for me every day. We're on the phone. To members of my church who actually visited me when I was in the hospital and in rehab, who's prayed for me for the last few months and continues to pray for me. Even though I got physically back in the church, I'm walking around, I'm seeing them. All of them ask how I'm doing, saying that they pray for me, and that makes all the difference in this whole thing. To my coworkers who have called me, who've actually visited me while I was in the hospital and rehab, who text me and who call me and ask how I'm doing, and I give them, of course, updates of how I am. Although I don't mind the time off, but I'm looking forward to getting back soon. To my doctors and to my therapists who've helped me along through all this, I want to thank them as well. And to the first responders and of course the first responders, when this whole thing began, I have to remind myself when I'm back on the road, when I'm back in my car, that I have to go and see them and thank them for that. Thank my doctors, my physical therapists for that. It means a lot to me. Now, the fact is, my high blood pressure triggered this stroke. I mean, yeah, you've seen my videos of me working out and everything else. And yeah, I was doing very, very well. I was building up the muscle. I was doing everything. But the thing is, I did all that after a doctor's appointment saying that my blood pressure was normal. So I took that to mean he didn't prescribe me any pills, so I took that to mean you're okay. Keep doing what you're doing. I probably shouldn't have. Not that I'm saying don't work out. I'm saying that probably that's one of the trigger moments, that you weren't regulating blood pressure was rising. And that was partially my fault. Now, I'm going to get to this subject in a few moments, but with everything that's happening in the world, with everything that's happening in this country, maybe the stress of it all was really getting to me. I didn't realize how bad it was until I was in the hospital. Now, I can sit here and blame Donald Trump for it, but I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. Because for me, honestly, that would alleviate myself of any responsibility. I can't do that, and I won't do that. But now I'm on high blood pressure pills. My blood pressure's under control. My cholesterol's under control. And I'm okay, obviously. I'm not back in the gym yet. I soon will be. But my everything's going well for me. I'm so eternally grateful for that. Now, I'm gonna make something clear. I may have to scale back my rhetoric about Trump, because obviously that may have triggered a lot of what's happening to me. But make no mistake about this. That doesn't mean he or anyone in his administration get a free pass from me. I'm still going to talk about him because he is the President of the United States and he's leading this country to utter and complete disaster day after day, minute by minute, every second he opens his mouth. And yet, but what I'm going to do is not let it really affect me until it really does affect me. Not only in the medical side of things, but in civil rights side of things. I can't stop talking about a person who is actively ripping this country and what it's supposed to represent down. Whether it's because of revenge, or whether he's just mentally unstable, or whether he's just, I don't know what. But I will not give him a free pass. I won't let it affect me in the way that it did. But again, I am not blaming him for having this stroke. I'm not. A lot of contributing factors may have contributed to me having this stroke. Thankfully, it wasn't my heart. Thank God for that. but it was extreme high blood pressure that I've gotten under control. But as for Trump, I'm still going to talk about this man whenever he's in the wrong, which is almost every single day. I'm going to talk about his cabinets when they're in the wrong every single day. I'm going to talk about the MAGA every chance I get, every single day. Because for me to walk away or just say that's, or just simply walk away and simply just ignore it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Ignore what's going on. Now, I'm not saying turn a blind eye to it. Yeah, I'm saying if you do that, it lets Trump and all the sycophants around him win. And I am not going to allow him to do that. Now I can relax a little. I need to take some time. I'm enjoying the time off, getting myself physically and mentally fit, and the rest of my and everything else is what it is. When it comes to Trump, now laying up in my hospital bed in rehab, and now doing physical, occupational, and speech therapy, too much has happened for us to ignore. Now, I'm not saying get angry about it, like boiling mad to the point where you're seeing veins and physically seeing veins in your neck. I'm saying keep yourself informed about what's happening. Even if you're watching CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, OAN, or any other stuff about 1 hour a day, don't get yourself consumed by it. I did. And I won't say I nearly died, but let's say my life was nearly affected permanently because of it. But we gotta talk about this honestly, because Trump is tearing everything apart for his ego and his self absorption of his whole life. He says he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. No, he doesn't. He has never done anything to bring the world to peace. He said he was going. Now, we all know that politicians like to make grandiose claims on the campaign trail. But when you say you're going to end a war between two countries and one before, mind you, he said before day one, you have to ask yourself, what is wrong with him? No one can do that. Barack Obama didn't do it. Either one of the Bushes didn't do it. And now we are facing two international wars. The war between Ukraine and Russia that Russia started. Make no mistake about that. And the war between Israel and Iran that's been going on for centuries, but it's gotten so big now. Thanks to Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, mind you, I stand for Israel. I do not stand with Benjamin Netanyahu. He needs to go. He is past need to go for decades. But now he has drawn us into his war on Iran. And dropping those bombs on Iran, it didn't help. It didn't stop it. It didn't slow it down. But what really is bothering me is the MAGA, his supporters, in and out of government. Just yesterday, when I made this video, you have the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, a sycophant himself, go on against the media about how everything's against Trump, how he brought peace, got them closer to peace. Trump did nothing of the sort. Iran retaliated on one of our bases in Qatar. Thankfully, from what I understand, no one was hurt. People could have been hurt. People could have been killed. American soldiers could have been killed. And now in the United States, now I am not being hyperbole and I'm not selling fear. But let me remind you that this country is full of people from around the world. Do you really, and hopefully, I pray to God this is not true, but a lot of them are radicalized. You really think that the Iranian citizens aren't going to be angry about this? And to make things worse, Trump's big, beautiful bill. Not too long ago, he released a truth on Truth Social, telling congressmen and senators not to take any vacation until the bill is signed, until the bill is on his desk and ready to sign by Independence Day, July 4th. He's not doing anything for the good of the country. He's doing it for himself. To cement his place in history. If that's all he's thinking about, his place in history, he needs to go, and he needs to go now. But me personally, I'm worried about this, but I'm not going to be so looking at CNN or MSNBC for 5-6 straight hours a day, concerned about anything he's done. I'm going to see what's going on, yes, but I'm going to get back to my life. Because let me tell you something, this thing could have took me out. And as much as I'm concerned with what my life is, I'm wondering how people will remember me. Will they remember me as a son? Will they remember me as a man? Will they remember me as a person who was so terrified of what Trump is doing, they let themselves die because of him? I am not giving Trump that kind of power, and you shouldn't either. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be concerned. Doesn't mean you shouldn't speak out over what he's doing, including his immigration policy, sending ICE agents out on American streets, like he was out there sending the Gestapo on the hunt for Jews, ordering National Guard troops into an American city to stop peaceful protests, to send active duty Marines to an American city for peaceful protest. We need to speak out against this. Speaking out is just as strong as you being out there on the streets. Me making videos like this on YouTube are stronger than the gun. So many things are happening in this country that we are turning a blind eye to, and it needs to stop. We need to make ourselves aware about what's going on and finding ways to prevent it. Right now, the only way of preventing it is one of the primaries of preventing what Trump wants to do is the midterms. Get out and vote. No matter who tries to intimidate you, threaten you, if it's Trump himself threatening you, get out and vote. Get involved in your local elections, whether it be state or federal elections. Get out and vote. If you see an injustice happening, like we're seeing with ICE agents, I received just yesterday, I heard that a father of 2 United States Marines was detained by ICE agents. We need to speak out against things like that. We really do. Because for him, for Trump, our silence is pretty much his approval. We stay silent, he has carte blanche to do whatever he wants. And I prefer not to give it to him. And I won't give it to him. I think that's all I gotta say for now. For now. You will see this face again, or you'll hear my voice on other videos. And again, for everyone who's been in my corners through this whole thing, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't be here, standing here with all your support and all your prayers to the man, to the Most High above. He could have taken me out. He could have said, your story is over. He didn't. And I'm every day eternally grateful for that. I'm 41 years old, almost near the halfway spot to my life. I still got a lot of good years to live, and I intend to live in them. That's all I gotta say for now. Thank you all. CTP, know the truth, God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.